Hello, I'm Michael Archer, and I was assigned with trying to describe the Atlanta, Georgia music scene. Atlanta, when I was before I did any research on it, I was thinking it was mainly known for its hip hop, and well, I was kind of right. But there's also a lot more to it than I previously thought. But first, I'm going to start off with the hip-hop scene just to get it out of the way. So, in the 1980s and early 1990s, the hip-hop scene in Atlanta, Georgia was characterized mostly by the electro-driven bass music from Miami. Some of the artists who came out of this were Kilo Ali, MC Shy D, who was credited with bringing the Bronx style of hip-hop to Atlanta. Then there was Raheem the Dream and DJ Smurf, who would later be known as Mr. Collar Park. In 1993, a group was formed called Dungeon Family, which wasn't so much of a music group, but more of a collective of different artists, kind of like we know of the Aftermath label under Dr. Dre, or the TDE label, which some other rappers go with now. But anyway, they were more a music collective that ran through RCA, and they specialized in southern hip-hop that had a large emphasis on funk or soul, or actually both at the same time. Some of the artists working within that Dungeon Family name was one, Organized Noise, who weren't really a rap group, but a production team and songwriting group that was made up of Sleepy Brown, Rico Wade, and Ray Murray. They got known because of their work with Outkast and the Goody Mob. Next is the Goody Mob, who I mentioned earlier. And then also associated with that Dungeon Family were Killer Mike, who is actually more of a modern rapper. He's just recently becoming bigger into the mainstream. And, of course, Outkast, which I want to stop and take some time to talk about because of how big of an impact they made on the scene. Outkast was formed in 1992 by Andre 3000, Benjamin, and Antoine Big Boy Patton. They together released 6 albums: Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music, ATLiens, Aquemini, Stankonia, Speakerbox, and The Love Below, which was a double album project where they didn't feature on each other's projects like they had in previous albums. They were 2 different discs. One, Big Boys, being very much the hip-hop style from Stankonia, or ATLiens, that was just very raw and Dirty South sounding. And then there was The Love Below, which was Andre 3000's project, which was very much more jazz, pop, psychedelic, had a lot more different influences going into it, and actually didn't have any rapping on it at all, save for maybe a couple spots, but it was very barren and very different from your typical hip-hop album. And finally, actually, I'm sorry, I skipped a point. They also earned Album of the Year for that album in 2003. So they were definitely on their way for some great things. And Then after that, 3 years later, in 2006, they released the album Idlewild, which was full of original songs, but also acted as a soundtrack to their movie of the same name, kind of like Magical Mystery Tour or something, or A Hard Day's Night or something like that. But since Idlewild, Outkast has remained separated, with 2 solo albums coming from Big Boi, but the group has actually reunited just this year to tour 40 festivals this summer. But there are no plans to push this new reunion to a new album or more tour dates or something like that. Supposedly this is just a one-time thing. Some other information about the scene is in 2009, the New York Times stated Atlanta was hip-hop's center of gravity, stating that they were part of a larger shift in hip-hop innovation to the South. Atlanta is also home to a bunch of different rappers like T.I., Bubba Sparks, Young Jeezy, a bunch of different rappers like that, and it was also the home to these new styles that came out in the past few years, and that was the snap style, crunk, trap, and pop rap. Alright. Now, the country music in Atlanta, country music used to be a huge part of the Atlanta scene, but now it's dwindled because Nashville kind of took over the spotlight. They are now the central city for country music, where it used to be Atlanta. But they played a large role in launching country's earliest artists. Some of these important artists have gone on to be legends in the genre. Some of the more contemporary artists that come out of that area are Alan Jackson, Jason Aldean, the Zac Brown Band, Sugarland, Kenny Rogers, Jerry Reed, Ray Stevens, and Travis Tritt. Now, one of the artists I really want to feature on in this section is Fiddlin' John Carson. He was born on March 23rd of 1868 and died on December 11th of 1949. And he moved to Atlanta in the year 1900 to work at a cotton mill. But since he was such a great fiddler and he just started gaining popularity and notoriety through the city, that he actually started writing and recording his own material, and he was one of the first to do that in as a country artist. He actually made his radio debut at WSB, which was an Atlanta Journal radio station. Alright. And finally, we move on to the scene that Atlanta is probably known least for, and that's their rock and pop and metal scene. They have produced some notable rock and pop artists as well. Some of them are the Indigo Girls and the Black Crowes, who are both a type of indie folk pop thing. Then there was the alternative metal group Seven Dust. There was Collective Soul, the Black Lips, who are a punk band that came from that area. Norma Jean, that was more of a metalcore band, and then my personal favorite, Mastodon. Mastodon was actually formed in the early 2000s by Brann Dailor, Bill Kelleher, who was their guitarist, and Brann Dailor was their drummer, Troy Sanders, who's their bassist and their vocalist, and Brent Hines, who is their other guitarists and other vocalists. They are classified as sludge metal, but tend to have very progressive concepts and song structures. And they've released 5 albums to date. They've had Remission, Leviathan, which is based off of Herman Melville's Moby Dick, Blood Mountain, Crack the Sky, and The Hunter, which is their most recent release. They've been nominated for a Grammy twice for Best Hard Rock / Metal Performance, but never did they actually take that award home, which is quite unfortunate, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to watch this video and hear me talk, because I'm sure you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I hope you come away from this video feeling at least a bit more informed, and, well, thank you.